What better to do than to blaze through a book, July 1963, rather, Horizons. Look at the depth in the artwork here. This metallic gold color here, and the depth in the dark regions here. We have lots of detail. This is quite impressive, and everything pops at you in the background in the photograph. Everything pops at you. Quite impressive. The weather is not permitting today. The weather is not permitting. I planned on getting out there to get documenting on some evidence, some melt, some more canalage. I know you guys like that. I got some better footage even of some more man-made canal evidence in Minneapolis and St. Paul and everywhere. You have a river in your local area? Check it out. But for now, weather not permitting, we got some overcast skies, rain on and off in my area. Not gonna risk it. Gonna just play around here with the book, eh? Got some good evidence in this book and got some great stuff to look at. So we'll blaze through it because we got lots of photographs here to get through. So we'll start at the last page, our last page, and we got melt. This is great evidence here. This is melt coming from the bottom up, baby. Melt coming from the bottom up, scoring and blowing out these stairs from the bottom up, and plants and vegetation taking over the scene, eating off of the carbon-14, leaching out of these bricks. Moving on, 3 years of progress as the old life saw them. Okay, she's posing. Give me a break with her smug bug look. With her smug bug look, give me a break. And here's us, apparently wearing our Jester outfits, and here's them posing in outfits that are not theirs. Moving on. Moving on, moving on. Give me a break. Give me a break with those happy smiles and that cigar and that. Give me a break. Give me a break. Yeah. You know, you, sir, are hiding your hand. You, sir, are hiding your hand on purpose. On purpose. Strikes a pose. Yeah, strikes a pose with the hand hidden, baby. Strikes a pose with the hand hidden, baby. That ain't okay. That ain't okay, baby. We know what that means with your top hat. Now the women are always fine and dandy, eh? They're pretty, they're happy, they're fine, but the men, for fuck's sake, what did you stub your toe or what? You know, like lighten up, gee whiz. This is very interesting because I find this very much in resemblance to Chinese characters, and I would like to know: do they have any? Um, is there anything in relation there? I don't know. Maybe there's not. Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, looking like it's smoked out of its color. A red brick building would look like this in black and white, but this is looking quite light, ashen and gray, because the bricks are smoked, cooked out. Carbon-14 has been blown out of the building, cooked out. Look at the architecture here. And the depth in this color, just give me a break. These are giants down here. Look at here. You put him 5 steps this way towards this fellow here. He's towering over him. And he's towering. They're all giants here. These guys here, this guy here, they're giants. Give me a break on the holy floor here and look at what they're standing on. Look at what they're standing in these buildings. Give me a break. Give me a break. These are components, baby. Look at these buildings. How beautiful. The beauty. All the way up. All the way up. Down to the floor. The holy sacred floor of this giants here. In these time periods. In these time periods. No mountains in the background either. In the 1600s. I don't know when this was. No, they don't know, I guess. But nicest rides here. Nicest rides around, baby. They got suspension. And you think that these are Rick and Ann? Think again. Look at the outfit here. Look at the outfit here. These are like doilies. I have doilies like from this time period that look like this. Okay, look at the doily here. And how beautiful. And her hair shining like gold. Are you kidding me? And her pearls. Look at her pearls here. Look at her pearls there. And the pearls everywhere. And these are not These are not something that are just, local to Japan. You find these everywhere, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. These fans are not Japanese. And look at the colors here. Look what we're standing on. The finest of finest geopalmer man-made stones here on the floor, and these tiles, and the hardest of porcelain materials, ceramics, and just beautiful, beautiful surroundings here. Look at the woodwork. Look at the woodwork. And we were wizards. We were alchemists in this time period. We have urns on the table cloth. And look at the tablecloth here. Just holy smokes. Literally, holy smokes. These were wizards, alchemists, in every respect. Yes, they were. Look at the colors here and the ability to pull off such vivid color and depth in the darkness, in the darkest of darks. And in these dark regions, the most dark detail in the artwork. Yes, it is. These are advanced people. Christ here, meltologist, question: what would it mean to have Christ, the Lord, crucified in unto the melt? In unto the melt. What could this mean? That is my question. We have brick lines here, brick lines, present, still, blocks, presence. And this is melt, it's melting down over itself. This is great evidence. Why and what could this possibly mean? And we have Christ here, and we have a skull here. What does that mean? And Christ crucified in unto the melt. In unto the melt. There's brick lines here, presence, brick lines, presence. Interesting, eh? Interesting, eh? And this is what they look like. Here's what you want to know what they look like. Here's what they look like. They're on the statues out front of the buildings. Look at the ironwork and the bronze work out front of these buildings. And you see this building here? He matches the building, doesn't he? These statues, the people, the cars in the past, those 1920s cars. You think they're old cars, right? They're older than you think. These folks had cars. You don't think they had cars, baby? We built buildings like this. We built these and we didn't drive cars. And we didn't have cars around, baby. Have you ever taken a look at a Duesenberg or a Bugatti? I'm talking about in the past, 1910, 1918. So, now, what do those cars look like? They match the buildings, don't they? Yes, they do. And what do we know about these buildings? That is correct. That is correct. And if you want to know what they look like, just look at the statues, for fuck's sake. They match the buildings. These are the people that you would expect to be coming out of these buildings here, right? Yes, they match the buildings. The people match the cars match the buildings, I'm sorry. And that's what we got going on here. This is creepy. It looks like a photograph. In some aspects, it looks like a photograph, for fuck's sake. How do they do that? I don't know, but they had some skill, baby. More skill than us. And here's what they look like. Here's one of the royalty from Palace of Versailles. He lived at Versailles, I'm pretty sure. Look what they wore. Look at the clothes they had and what they lived in unto. Okay, they lived in unto this type of architecture, and that's who these people were. Look at the moat. Look at the moat around the building here. They have a moat, and all this here, this right here. You better believe underneath these pressure relief fountains here that we have structure to access and to service this plumbing system here. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And all this under here is built out in structure underneath here at Versailles. Yes, it is. Look at the inside of the building. Okay. All this. Do we need two chandeliers right there that close? You know? And look what we're standing on, what we're walking on. Holy sacred ground, baby. 1661. I find that interesting because this is before. This would be likely said before said event, right? Yes. The earliest I see said event happening in my research is maybe 1666. However, this is 1661. I think we may have some water back here. I'm pretty sure it's Versailles, and we have some water back here. Excuse me, let me get some color of water. I think this is water back here. But notice the landscape is relatively flat all around. Flat. It's very. The landscape has been done very. I mean, this is impressive landscaping here, all the way back. These fountains everywhere, and 1661, no mountains in sight, very flat. And from what I know, France is relatively mountainous, eh? So I don't see any mountains here around here or any type of land features that rise, except for maybe uh, here. But besides that, it seems to be relatively flat possibly before said event. And here we have the arrival of the Phoenicians, and they were advanced folks as well. They weren't nice. Here we have the look at this. They drove the ship right into the building. Drove the ship right in the. That's how these folks were. Drive the ship right into the building, you know. And look what their ships were decked out like. Now you think that God is gonna um. Now you think that God's gonna, you know, call for gopher wood to be used as the choice material in said ark, and that ark is going to be Rickety Ann. Um, Give me a break. It's not going to be a Rickety Ann, okay? If God's going to call for gopher wood, I would expect that this is going to be one of the finest ships that you've ever seen in your life, okay? So we have to think a bit deeper here on the use of wood because they were working it, baby. They were working it in the past. And yes, we were working it after the fact as well. Yes, we were. Lots of it, lots of it. But we cannot get it confused with the old world woodworking because it's a whole different the woodworking of the past means something completely different from what it means today. The way they treated the wood, the wood that they used, and just how they worked it and the respect they had for it, far different. Let's move on. Here's what they were surrounded by. Here's their belongings. And look at the artwork here and the depth in the color. In the depth in the color. Give me a break. What are these urns and technology here? And all this gold. Look at their belongings here. Give me a break. Look at this here. It's like silver rope here, all twisted and braided beautifully. And this is technology. It doesn't say what it is, but what is that? What is that? Looks like technology of some sort to me. Wizard technology. Yes, it does. And here's the Phoenicians themselves with their boats, with their fancy boats. They all have fancy boats. Here they are. And here's their fancy outfits. Very fancy. Very fancy. Very advanced people. They always have one wonky eye. Creepy. He's wearing a turban. He's a Turkish fella. They say Turkish. Phoenician. Got tech coming out of the back of the hat here. Tech on the ship. That is not a periscope. What is that? It's not a periscope. So that's technology. Giving out some sort of a beam here. And he's got a head here. They're not nice fellas. See, they're not nice fellas. Killed one of his own. And that's the Phoenicians. They always have swords, weaponry, and they're bringing the war and the fighting and the noise. They're noisy folks. They're not friendly. And here they are again as they arrive. This may be during said event. This may be before said event or after said event. I don't know. I would say likely this has to do with the event and the moons. The moons mean the Phoenicians are here. When you see the moons and the ships, the Phoenicians are here, baby. And I would have loved to see what it looked like when they moved these ships, because I think that they had propulsion technology as well as the oarmen. And I think the oarmen moved in perfect unison, and that these ships moved rather swiftly. Not like we see when they mock them today. But anywho, here we have them again. Look at the ships and the technology on these ships. So why don't we just zoom in right here and look at the tech on the ships. Look at the tech on the ships here. What's this? Propulsion technology here? I don't know, something like that. And that's what we have going on here. These oarmen, they were skilled. Look at how close these ships are and how they can move them around like nobody's business. Okay? In these rough waters. Gotta think about that stuff. Here they are laid out, and here's what they look like. Here's what they look like. The Phoenicians, here's what they look like. The guys that came off those ships, here's what they looked like. If you want to know what they look like, these advanced folks, here's who they were. Here's who they were. They spoke Latin. And here they were with their money and their games. Here they are again. And they're mean, and they seem to be like Not human. It's strange. They seem to be like robots of some sort. I don't know. Soldiers, just ruthless, mean. And that's what they were, Phoenicians. On their fancy boats, on their fancy boats. And here's what they brought onto the surface of the world. Lady's a giant. Look at this man here on his knees here. He's dwarfed by her, seated here, dwarfed. And this man here's a giant as well. This man here's a giant as well. Look at the size comparison here. This man here on his knees, this jester here, and she's not very happy, and she's a Phoenician. They're not humans. They're different. Look at how much bigger she is than he is. Look at how much bigger she is, and she looks different than a human. Here's a human. Here's us. Okay. Here's them. They looked different. They looked different. They were bigger. They were more robust. They were a different people. Not the same humans whatsoever. Not the same. Towers to the domes, baby. Towers to the motherfucking domes. And did you notice this layout here? The Star City layout here? And this infrastructural layout and design? And we got streets going this way. Streets is acute angles. Give me a break. I don't know what city that is, but look at the terrace buildings here. These terrace buildings. Old world, baby. And all these here. Hands crossing, holding the hands. Hands holding the hands. Every seal is different, though. Every seal around is different. See, the seal is different in each one? But they're all hands holding the hands. And this is a weird date. 1752, hands holding the hands. So we already had said events happen, likely. These folks here with the dark eagle eyes have already arrived, and here they are. And they're not nice fellows. They're not nice. And 1752, we already had agreements in place. Agreements in place. Four people agreeing on something here. The four regions, the four regios, perhaps. In the Anunnaki stories, I don't know, possibly the dividing of the four regions, possibly, maybe. Look at the walls here, the red bricks behind the rendering coming off here. Red bricks behind the rendering coming off of these enormous Star City likely walls. Same in Minneapolis, same in St. Paul. Look at the stagecoach here. Look at the stagecoach. The finest rides around. Look at this beautiful woman here. Holy smoke, she's gorgeous. Oh my god, look at her dress. And the colors on the dress. For fuck's sake, look at this guy's hat here. He's got a long one. He's got a long one. Okay. Is that what that means? And then look at this here. How beautiful these bridge after bridge behind here in this old world landscape here. And they were riding around these advanced boats. Yes, they were. All the streams, all the creeks are canoe accessible by at least boat traffic of this size and nature. They all were. They all are. They're not all still accessible anymore because they've been damaged, but the waterways have been damaged. But here is the 1876 artist's rendition of the Fine Arts Building, which I think has been since demolished. And look at the cymatic architectural design here. The cymatic architectural design. Give me a break. Look at the colors here. This man here is a giant. This right here is either an emu or an ostrich. So this man here is a giant. And he's up to no good here. He's up to no good. He's up to no good. You know that face when you see it? He's up to no good, eh? Yes, you better believe he's up to no good. Look what's going on here. Got all sorts of storks and whistles and penguins. That's a pelican, a duck, a goose, platypus, more ducks, a turkey, a chicken, and all sorts of birds. Red-breasted robin here, blue jay, and you name it. Crows, magpies, and look at the fancy light fixture up here. And he's lying to us because look what we have back here. A dinosaur. Yes. So under that curtain, I would rather not, sir. I will not peek under your curtain here with your top hats behind here. I will not. Dinosaur, give me a break. The guy's a giant, by the way. Okay. And look what they're surrounded by. Look what they're who are we circling here? Well, the non-humans. That's correct. Here's another one here. They forgot him. Forgot this. They forgot this demon over here. Excuse me. Sorry, that wasn't nice. But anywho, you get the idea. They're getting the creepy ones, and he's bigger than all the rest. Look how much bigger his head is than all the rest. Is that why they circled him? These are not the humans. These are not the humans. These are not the humans in the crowd here. They look kind of similar here. These strange bald heads. Let me see again. Oh, who is this one here? Yeah, so they're circling the questionable folks here, obviously. And look at the look at the Anunnaki window with all this woodwork in here, this rotted wood, and all this Anunnaki fanciness here that they're surrounded by. And they know stuff. He's hiding the hand, hiding the hand. Do we know what that means? Look at this beauty surrounded these folks here. And surrounding these folks here in the background in ruins. Not sure what that game is. And we're creepy and we're hiding the hand on purpose. And that's not okay. And you're not scaring anyone, buddy. You look dehydrated. You look dehydrated, you know? Give me a fucking break. Now this cat here is sneaking a peek, eh? He's sneaking a peekaboo here, eh? Yes, he is sneaking a peekaboo here. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, baby. No big deal. No big deal. We got steps going down. Steps going down because the building is buried down here. Look at the window down here, down below, and the bricks are burnt all around it. Horribly, horribly burnt. Horribly burnt. And look at horribly burnt. And he's taking a sneaky little peekaboo here. He's taking a little peekaboo here, baby. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, baby. Oh, they're cute, eh? And look at this. And look at the drive here. Just like Minneapolis, we have a divider in the center of the drive. The red brick. Sometimes they're granite brick drives, and it's just lovely to see. Lovely to see. Look what we're surrounded by. We're surrounding ourselves with beauty, and these are sphinxes. They got racks. They got strange Phoenician faces and lion bodies on the table legs. Often there'll be lion legs on the table legs or entire sphinxes like this. Or I guess it would be sphinx legs, not lion legs. But anywho, fancy, plain and fancy, yeah. You're plain, the stuff around you is fancy. Yes, you're plain, the stuff around you is fancy. Yes, it is. Missing a few books here. And look at that doesn't match you. That doesn't match you. This doesn't match you. Give me a break. Not your stuff. So they had skills in the past. I think this is an old world depiction here, artwork, because look at how we all have the same uniform on, working in unison, doing this properly. We had the skill like this in the past to do stuff like this, like it was nothing, just like this. And we're all wearing the proper uniform, doing things properly the way they're supposed to be done. And this just seems to, we all know what we're doing. The timing is correct. This seems to be old world to me. This seems to be old world to me. And they knew what they were doing and they did it properly. Wearing the right uniforms, doing it the right way. Not taking shortcuts and doing this and that. They knew how to do it and they knew how to do it right. I love you all and take care. Be back soon with some melt. You better believe it.